Teach me, I will. Teach me fraud. Teach me fucking fraud, nigga. Why are you pitying me, nigga?
And even look at prison. They're releasing a whole heap of prisoners this week.
Oh, there's no pussy in jail.
I think it was Tuesday. They released,
actually, there wasn't. Ones were for them and checked it for themselves.
They released thousands of prisoners the other day. I think it was Tuesday. They released 1,000 prisoners. And today we're filming on what date? Today's Wednesday the 11th. So Tuesday the 10th of September, they released thousands of prisoners. Typically, they say that they release them after 50%, but they said it's because of the space of prison, they're going to release them 40% of their sentence time. Now, it's going to be those who have not committed violent crimes. So those who have committed sexual offences, domestic violence or violent crimes, they will be still kept in prison. And those who come out will still be on licence. Some of them will be on tax. Now, my thing is this. If we was going to discuss and talk about any crimes, what crimes would you say that people shouldn't go to prison for?
Shouldn't go to prison for?
It should be more of like rehabilitation and not actually sitting inside a prison cell. People who you say are not a danger to society. So what kind of crimes would you say?
Parking tickets, stuff like that. People go to prison for that. Like financial crimes.
Okay, so I would say that someone who's a fraudster shouldn't be in prison. Would you say they should be in prison?
I don't think they should.
So how would they learn their lesson? Because I think everything's about. So to you, is prison about punishment or rehabilitation?
I think the punishment should fit the crime, but I don't think financial crimes are the same as, like, I don't know, beating up someone's mum. I think it's completely different. So
you say that if someone, let's say someone's defrauded the government of say $1 million, okay, and
I think we should all clap. We should all turn up to his hearing and clap.
Okay. Let's say someone's defrauded a company. Let's say someone went to Scion London and basically robbed Scion London for 100 grand.
Okay.
Okay. So now he's gone to court. He's been sentenced, charged, whatever. Yeah. Should that person go to prison for doing that?
I think there's got to be some way where he can make the money back, like for the.
What's the rehabilitation for someone who's a fraudster?
Community service in the.
Because I think the whole point of rehabilitation is for them to do it again.
Yeah.
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 I think the biggest problem we have with crime in general, whatever it is okay, I don't want you to do it again. Okay. So when we talk about the use and talk about the problems, and you say you want to get someone off the road, or you want to get someone to stop selling drugs. Mm-hmm. What's the alternative? Like, let's say this guy's a fraudster. He's now come out of jail after doing 4 years. The biggest problem is now, what is the next step? Because we're talking about the reoffending rate, which is very high. My question now is people are being released, and people are upset. And I'm like, I don't think fraudsters should go to prison.
Yeah.
As mad as it's going to sound, should drug dealers go to prison? Should drug dealers be released from prison early? Drug dealers. And this is the problem, is that I don't want to put a levy or a category, but there are categories for different drugs. So maybe there's categories anyway. Mm. Someone who's selling weed, should they go to prison for selling weed? I don't think they should. One could argue and say that there's a lot of mental health issues now surrounding weed, especially psychosis. I've got friends who work in a mental health institution. They're saying that a lot of these black brothers who are actually going cuckoo is because of the weed.
Yeah.
So maybe I'm going to contradict myself. If someone is selling weed and they're mixing it with all this sort of stuff, if it's causing someone to have mental health issues, should they not be locked up? So maybe I'm right in saying drug dealers should go to prison then.
Yeah, but then you've got like things like where people are drinking codeine and stuff like that, and that's you can.
So would you say that drug dealers shouldn't go to prison?
I don't think so. I think there's categories to
So what should happen to it? So how do we? I don't use the word punish, but how do we stop a drug dealer from selling drugs?
Because I think that's two separate questions. Because the way I see it, the only reason why you would commit crime is if one, you're good at it, or you have no other choice, or you're an idiot. 3 reasons, like kind of like in the middle space. But like if you're good at it, you're always gonna do it because you're good at it. If you've got no other choice, you're always gonna do it because you've got no other choice.
Do we have a choice?
To a degree.
For someone who's committing crime, is it unfair to say that every single one of them has an alternative?
I think to have an alternative or a choice, you have to be aware of the choice. So you can't say to someone that isn't aware of their options that they have a choice because they don't see their options.
Because I committed crimes to make money when I was younger.
Yeah. And
I sit there and say, did I have a choice? I had a choice, but I think the problem was that the lifestyle I wanted, I couldn't afford it on the wage I was earning. Yeah. So therefore, I wanted to cheat the system to make more money. So, for instance, if you just want to make an honest living, you can make an honest living, but it might not be enough for the lifestyle that you want, which makes you want to commit crime.
Yeah.
So I think we all have a choice, and I think no one needs to commit crimes to make money. But I think the lifestyle. What I'm talking about is guys who I know that have sold drugs or done fraud. I'm talking about myself who have done fraud in the past. Mm-hmm. I was working, and I was earning enough to take care of myself, but I saw that, and I wanted that, and I knew that I couldn't get that on my salary. So therefore, I started doing extra stuff to make that money.
Yeah.
So whether I'm someone who's selling drugs, whether I'm somebody who's doing fraud, whether I'm somebody who's fudging my expenses, working in Parliament, which is still a crime.
Yeah.
You know, whether I'm somebody who works in an establishment for the government, and I've got a friend who's got a building company who does the roads.
Yeah.
And then my friend tells me that it's only going to cost 50k to do that tarring of the floor. But I say, no problem, I'll send you 100 grand. That's going to be the invoice, and you just give me the 50k on the back end. Like people are committing financial crimes in so many different ways.
Exactly.
Because, you know, we talk about money laundering, and you have to remember that the way that the government takes money from the public pocket into the private pocket is by creating wars and creating problems.
Yeah.
So you got to remember, if there's like a big company who deals with arms, if I need to get 5 million out of that account, the public account, all I've got to do is create a problem, and that money goes into that private person's pocket. So the question now is if we're trying to stop, if the prisons are filled, and we're saying, okay, someone who sells drugs, it's not a violent crime, okay? Should that person go to prison for selling drugs as it's not a violent crime?
I don't think so, bro, because the thing is, when you create a system, right, there's rules, and to any rule book there's ways you can jiddles it to kind of like move in between the lines, right? So whenever you create a system that's not designed to help people, there's going to be people that try and jiddles the system. That's just how it goes. So where you said, like, for example, with you was working a job, you was making good money, but you saw something you wanted, you had the self-awareness to say, I'm not going to get to there from this job I've got now. So you found a way to get it. Now, if to say you was given an opportunity where you could make enough money to have what you wanted, would you have still took the risk to do that crime?
Probably not. But
I would say no.
Probably not. But if you look at someone like Hush Puppy,
Yeah.
okay, who was making millions,
Yeah.
he could have stopped, but
He's good at it.
It was exactly. And
So
people always
he's never
say
gonna
quit
stop.
while you're ahead, and people don't want to quit while they're ahead. You know, and what kind of character? So let's say with all of this stuff I do, where I've claimed I've got restaurants and this. Let's say you found I was actually a big drug dealer.
That'd be amazing.
No, but what would that? How would,
That would be amazing.
what
Hey, where's the track of the documentary? Like,
would you not think of me?
That'd be amazing.
What would you not think of me? Just imagine that all the businesses were there, but let's imagine I was a big drug lord who was shipping in tons of cocaine. What would you think of my character now?
This is me. I would respect you more than I do now,
Why?
because what you've built is amazing. I would never have known you're a drug dealer until you tell me.
So, but doesn't that change your character? Don't you change my character?
Not at all.
You don't think I'm a bad person?
Nope.
You don't think drug dealers? You wouldn't see someone who sells drugs or sells cocaine or sells weed to somebody as a bad person?
No.
What
I
do you think
think
of their
that.
character? Someone
No.
who breaks the law.
I don't think you're a bad person, but I think sometimes good people have to do bad things to get ahead.
So technically, what you're saying is that you don't see drug dealers as bad people.
No, I see you
You don't
as-
see fraudsters as bad people.
Nope.
So doesn't matter what fraud it is. So let's say I bring up old ladies.
Yeah, I think morally, if you're frauding an old lady, that's bad, man. But I wouldn't respect that. I wouldn't be like, yeah, you're sick. If my boy was ringing up old ladies and taking their pensions, I'd be like, you're a
People who
dickhead.
snatch phones, you say there's bad people.
I think things that affect the average everyday person, I don't agree with. So when you're taking things from grannies, you're taking things from like direct from people that they themselves have to replace. I don't appreciate it. I don't respect that. But
Am I not a bad person then for selling drugs? Or are you going to say because somebody wants these drugs?
I think you're facilitating a demand, and that person should use their own discernment to decide whether they want the drugs or not. Because if you don't sell them the drugs, someone else will, and that's the argument.
But isn't that what you call circular reasoning, where you're kind of saying, well, if I don't do it, someone else will?
Yeah, it's the circle of reason, but then at the same time, there's a demand, there's a market for it. When there's a demand, there's always going to be a supply. It doesn't matter
So
because
you
if it's not you, it's the government.
So you don't see someone who sells drugs as having bad character. Someone who does fraud, you don't see them as bad character unless they're doing fraud to an individual.
Yeah, I think so. Because the way I see it is, companies like
What does it say about me though if I'm someone who defrauds people, who I use cunning activities to take money from people?
individual people.
Well, whether it's because we look at companies and like companies don't get stung because like we look at Tesco's and say because there's so many Tesco's.
If you defrauded
stealing from-
Tesco for 10 million, I'd clap.
But why though? Because I think the problem is that we look at big companies that they're not individuals. So let's say I've got let's say I've got 10 Scion Londons.
Okay.
One could say that Gabriel's a big boss, he's a big guy. That it's not going to matter if someone walks out and doesn't pay for a steak.
No, I think that's still what I would class as a small business because you're not part of the.
So when you're robbing from the rich, it's okay basically.
Define what's rich.
Tesco.
Because yeah, cool. Because I think Tesco's is part of like the system because like Tesco's, for example.
How?
Because when you go up the chain high enough, all the companies are owned by the same system.
So technically, if Gabriel has 100 Cyan Londons,
I don't know. I think there's a threshold.
I'm not part of the problem.
No, I think there's a threshold.
Well, where's the threshold then?
I think
Because there's a lot of Nando's.
Yeah.
Can I steal from Nando's? And you'll be cool with it?
yeah, I'll be
That's not
cool
a
with it.
problem though, but there's an individual who owns Nando's.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I know exactly what you're saying.
Everything starts with an individual.
When you look into like supermarkets specifically, right, and the way they're operated and stuff, they do things like they put there's only recently like laws come into where they can't have like their sugary stuff like at the front of the store and stuff. They got to put it at the back and like so many things like that. They organize their stores psychologically so you buy more.
In the same way a newsagent does that too.
Right.
What's behind every two of the newsagents?
Right, there you go.
The alcohol and the
yeah,
cigarettes.
of course. Right, cool. All the things that are going to get you addicted the most. So this is part of the system. So if the system is designed for me to spend money and just be part of this, be another hamster in the wheel,
Yeah.
why would I feed into that system and play the rules by what the system
So
says?
basically what you're saying is that if you can break the rules in any way,
Yeah.
and it's not affecting an individual, break the
Bro,
rules.
Kobe Bryant didn't play the game in the right way. He didn't follow all the rules. Kobe Bryant's one of the greatest basketball players of all time. He would elbow you in the jaw if the ref weren't looking.
I don't
Happily.
think, I tell you what it is that the reality is that the majority of people who have got anywhere in life have broken rules.
Winners don't play by the rules, bro.
Yeah, the
so why am
majority
I
have.
gonna do it? Right, so why am I gonna do it? It doesn't make sense.
I just don't know what it says about someone's character.
If I could do fraud, I would do it. If I could do fraud and not get caught, I'd do it.
I think there's a lot of things we'll do if we weren't going to get caught.
There we go.
You know, I think even when we talk about the purge, you know, there's so many
thought about that.
there's so many things I'll do to people if I could get away with it. But I'm not a great person. I'm just scared of the consequences.
Oh, I'm not a good role model.
I'm scared of the consequences. Like if I could do that guy that owes me money, if I could beat him up now and I'll get away with it, I would.
Would you do the same thing, Chiz? If the purge was for
I'll
20...
put that value on. I'll be outside people's doors.
Wow.
So much people will be gone.
Gone!
Well, you give England 24 hours that you can commit any
No, I know,
crime you want.
I know that, but...
People will be in the streets. You'll see your white racist neighbour knock your door. Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. Hey, Mickey Mouse. You wonder why it's calling you Mickey Mouse?
Wow.
Cheers, didn't get that one.
Hey, you lot are interesting.
I was paying something.
Oh. I know the purge is different, but cool. Back to the question.
People are not nice people.
I know.
People are scared of the consequences.
I
In
know.
the same way, I use an
But that's
analogy.
good, though.
If there was a place that you couldn't park,
Yeah.
and they said don't park here between 8 and 6,
Yeah.
but there's no consequence for parking there between 8 and 6.
I'm parking there.
It's only because you'll get a ticket that people don't park there.
But the thing is,
people are not nice people.
Alright, but here's a caveat to that. The rules only apply to poor people. Because if there's a crime and the punishment is a financial fine or something like that,
They don't care.
They don't care.
That's why those rich, and I'm not saying it to slate them. That's why the rich Arabs in West End, they just park their car anyway.
Exactly.
Oh, £100 fine? It's cheap. I don't mind.
Yeah, it's free.
Convenience.
I'll park there all day.
It's parking.
Yeah.
It's convenient. I can
we
park
go.
my car in front of the restaurant and for £100.
So as a poor person with the rules only applying to me, and I'm seeing people that have money just get financially taxed for doing whatever crime, whatever, even like financial crimes. Oh, give the money back and go and tag for a bit. Why am I playing by the rules? They don't make sense. So then you look at things that are non-harmful crimes like fraud and drug dealing and stuff.
No, it does harm somebody.
It does harm somebody,
Like,
but I'm not beating someone
Drug
up.
dealing is a harmful crime. Like as I said, remember I've got a business partner who works in a forensic hospital.
Yeah.
And a lot of these black boys that are in there,
Yeah.
the common denominator is the weed.
Okay.
They've got so I'm not gonna like back in the day maybe the weed was better.
Psychosis.
I'm not gonna say, but now I don't know what they're putting in the weed.
Yeah.
It's not working for these young black boys.
It wasn't better back.
It's not working.
So what if there was a drug leader that sought to reform that and make sure all the weed is pure and come straight from?
I tell you the
Is
biggest
that
problem
ethical?
I tell you, it's really a problem. You have morality and you have legality. Legally, I'm allowed to sell alcohol. Morally, one could argue and say it's poison.
Yeah.
But it's what it is. Like, it's just that it's okay. Like, there are definitely side effects to having alcohol. In the same way, if you have a child and the woman's pregnant and she drinks alcohol, the child could have alcohol poisoning, whatever you want to call it. So I'm not exactly, but because it's illegal, it's allowed.
Yeah.
Same way, smoking cigarettes, it says on the pack front and back, it's what's going to kill you.
Yeah.
People
Still do it.
Bro, I don't drink, but I'm always trying to run up the bar.
So what would separate you as a venue owner that sells alcohol to people
Just the law.
from?
Just the law.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would just be a law.
Remember this. Prior to, I don't know whether it's
I don't believe in
1800s or
alcohol.
1900s,
Yeah.
slavery was legal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's fuckeries. Right. So cool. So Who's wrote the rule book to say XYZ is not allowed?
Well,
The people that were born before me and have more money than me.
Yes,
So
but
let me play the game.
then go jail.
I don't have to go to jail to play the game.
You get caught, you'll sit down.
I don't have to play. I don't have to go.
Because you get caught, you're gonna sit down.
I'm not gonna
for
say
a
I'm
while.
gonna be a drug dealer or a fraud man, but I'm saying
I think you want to. I can see it in your eyes now. Like, it doesn't mean it can be your new path.
no.
He's got the hair.
I can see it.
Where's he's got the hair? He's got the.
I couldn't do
It
it.
looks
I
like a
couldn't do it.
Carlos.
Hey,
I've got
yeah.
too.
Roberto.
Yeah.
Rico Suavo.
I got too much responsibility now, but
Hey,
like I think
Castle, yeah, you're gonna go make a connect.
if you, not talk about Elephant Castle. If I was there, I wouldn't be selling drugs. But so in regards to making money and stuff, right? There's financial crimes, like so. I think we mentioned before in another episode where during COVID, one of the guys sold like the face mask contract to someone that had owned like a diamond company that had no business having that contract but got the contract.
And
that
that's
is
how-
illegal. That is illegal, but it's legal.
Yes.
It's,
And
it's
that's how people shift money around.
right. Cool. It's
You have to learn how to play the system.
it's inside the fuckeries. You can't do that. But I don't get to play those games. But if I want to sell
eventually.
yeah, eventually. But if I want to sell a 3-5, I get put in jail.
Yes.
Get out of here. Impossible.
Because it's against the law.
Then let's play the game. So when I defraud Tesco for 10 mil, don't say
No,
nothing.
but you can't say. But you're acting like Tesco's not an individual. Like someone doesn't own Tesco's.
Alright, cool. And he's playing bigger games and made more than the 10 mil.
So
I've sold
because
him.
he's managed to open 500 stores,
Yeah.
now he should be targeted.
It's not sure he'd be targeted, but it's just the way the world works. Because
I
I don't live in.
And I'm a hypocrite because I don't pay for Tesco bags.
There we go. So how many bags get stolen every year? He has to pay for that. Who fronts the bill?
Yeah, that whole plastic bag scam thing. I don't know who brought that scam out, but
Alright, cool.
I don't pay for Tesco plastic.
And this is what I'm saying, bro. So we all make our own rules and live by our own code, innit?
Yeah,
So
I think everything's what allows you to sleep at night,
yeah.
and whatever makes you sleep at night, it's fine.
But-
Like,
but-
I sleep well at night. No, I didn't pay for that 30p bag.
Yeah, there you go. But I think the rules that have kind of been set out, I looked at them
But
one
don't
day.
come to my restaurant and not pay for 50p shot.
Of course, because you're a hypocrite. But I get it, because the thing is, when you're around people that have awareness of the system around the fuckeries, you're gonna be a hypocrite. Because I'm not
But
gonna
I
pay your
always said I'm a
stuff.
hypocrite. I don't deny
But
it.
it's good.
Like I don't sit and deny. I always say I'm not a role model. Like, don't look at me like I'm some like. I just talk a good game.
Yeah, no, I know, but it's good. But I like being around people that see the world for what it is. But again, I don't live in a world of idealism. I just see the world for what it is. If you have money, you're a target. If you have money and show money, you're a target. Everyone knows Tesco's got money. Sainsbury's, Asda.
So therefore, people should just target them and just rob them.
No, they should, but they will. And it's better they do that to them than South London. Are we in agreement?
Well, because they've got more than me, you could argue. Yeah.
There you go.
I just seen a post just now. Gen Z is drinking less alcohol, funny enough, than any other generation. Gen Z drinks less alcohol compared to millennials and older generations, according to a World Finance report. Gen Z drinks on average 20% less than millennials, who themselves drink less than previous generations. Baby boomers born between 1946 and 1964 drink significantly more than any other generation. I wonder why that is.
I don't know.
Because now health and fitness has become more trendy.
Yeah.
So you get like a lot of the younger generation are in run clubs. They're like in gym, like group stuff. You know what I mean? Like you see it all the time. They go hiking. They do stuff outside of the club.
I don't think the world's as sociable anymore.
Huh?
Though. I don't think the world is as sociable anymore.
No, it's not sociable, but they finding other ways to socialize now
Yeah.
compared to the previous generation who, the generation before us, their clubs used to finish at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
Yeah. We
warehouses
yeah. We saw a tiny bit of that. Even 8 a.m. we saw a tiny bit of that. But like back then it was standard. You weren't leaving a party at 2 a.m.
Also, maybe they ain't got money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Like maybe they ain't got money. And also remember.
it goes back to what you said. Remember, like you said, a grand before stretched.
Yeah.
Whereas now
that's not doing anything.
it's not doing anything. Now a younger boy, he needs to look like, alright, he's got a nice car. Like before, at 21, 20, having a punto, having any banger,
Yeah, you could drive and cut through.
you were cutting through. Now at 21, 20, a young boy needs a Merc.
Yeah.
It's different. You know what I mean? Their pressure that they're getting, it's not as much as we got.
So when I'm looking at guys taking my babes in their Merc and I've got my punto and I've got no babes, I'm doing fraud, bro. I'm selling drugs, bro. Like I am. I'm doing
Hey,
stuff.
what you say? You want to? Wait. I hear this audio.
Teach me Yahoo, teach me fraud. Teach me fucking fraud, nigga. Why are you pitying me, nigga? Teach me a fucking fraud.
Facts. I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it. I
Teach
get
me
it.
how.
Bro, I understand, bro.
Teach me a fucking fraud. Hope you like the content we've been posting. Please like, share, subscribe. Thank you for all the comments that we've been getting on the channel. Thank you for the comments on the clips channel. Yeah, more content to come. Please like, share, subscribe. Thank you. Bye.